Think back to your earliest memories of school, sitting in rows of desks, all facing the same direction, learning to think within the lines, literally and figuratively, raising your hand for permission to speak, following schedules dictated by bells and buzzers. What if I told you that this wasn't just educational methodology? It was systematic conditioning designed to create compliant workers rather than creative thinkers. I'm Dr. Marcus Thorne, and today I'm going to reveal how the modern education system functions as a consciousness programming operation that conditions children to accept limitation, hierarchy, and external control as natural and necessary. Let's start with the physical environment. Most schools are built with cube-based architecture, rectangular classrooms, square windows, grid-based hallways. Students spend their formative years in environments that promote structured, compartmentalized thinking rather than creative, flowing awareness. The psychological effects are profound. When developing minds are constantly surrounded by geometric limitation, they begin to organize thoughts according to those same patterns. They learn to think within boundaries rather than exploring infinite possibilities. They accept categorization and compartmentalization as natural rather than recognizing their creative potential. But the programming goes much deeper than just architecture. The entire structure of modern education reinforces cube-based thinking. Students learn to organize information into discrete subjects rather than recognizing the interconnectedness of knowledge. They're taught to follow predetermined curricula rather than pursuing their natural curiosity. The grading system exemplifies this perfectly. Instead of recognizing that learning is a natural, ongoing process, students are conditioned to perform for external evaluation. They learn to seek approval from authority figures rather than developing internal motivation and self-direction. Time programming starts early in the educational process. Students learn to organize their days according to external schedules rather than natural rhythms. They're trained to switch mental focus every 45 minutes when a bell rings, conditioning them for later compliance with workplace time management. The most insidious aspect is how this system conditions children to accept hierarchy as natural. Teachers have authority, students must obey. Administrators make decisions, teachers must comply. The entire structure reinforces the idea that some people are naturally suited to give orders while others are meant to follow them. This isn't accidental. The modern education system was designed during the Industrial Revolution to produce compliant factory workers. The same people who understood how to use architectural programming and time management to control industrial workers designed educational systems to prepare children for that same compliance. But here's what's particularly tragic. Children are naturally creative, curious, and unlimited in their thinking. They have to be systematically conditioned to accept limitation as natural. The education system essentially trains creativity out of developing minds and replaces it with conformity. The standardized testing movement represents the ultimate expression of cube-based educational programming. Students learn to think in multiple-choice patterns rather than exploring complex, nuanced understanding. They're trained to seek single, correct answers rather than recognizing that reality is multifaceted and dynamic. Digital education has amplified these effects. Students now interact with rectangular screens organized in grid-based interfaces. They learn to organize information into digital folders and files. Their minds are being programmed to think in terms of digital categories rather than organic understanding. The solution isn't to reject education entirely, but to recognize how educational environments affect consciousness and to supplement formal learning with practices that maintain natural creativity and curiosity. I've researched these patterns extensively and documented how educational programming connects to the broader system of consciousness control. In my book, The Saturn Conspiracy: How Ancient Cube Worship Controls Modern Reality, I reveal practical methods for maintaining creative thinking while navigating educational systems. You can grab your copy for just $2.99 using the link in the description below. If you're a parent, you can help your children maintain their natural consciousness while succeeding in educational environments. Encourage creative expression, provide unstructured learning opportunities, and help them understand that their true intelligence goes far beyond test scores and grades. If you're an educator, you can work within the system while maintaining awareness of its limitations. Create learning environments that encourage exploration rather than just memorization. Help students develop critical thinking skills that extend beyond standardized requirements. The ancient wisdom teaches that learning is a natural, joyful process that connects us with universal knowledge. When education becomes a system of control rather than discovery, it betrays its true purpose. But individuals can reclaim authentic learning regardless of institutional limitations. Tomorrow, I'll show you how the same programming principles appear in healthcare systems and how medical institutions use environmental conditioning to influence patient behavior. But first, check out the Saturn conspiracy and start recognizing educational programming in your own experience. The ancient wisdom is still available to those who seek it. The question is, will you help preserve natural learning, or will you remain unconscious of how educational systems shape consciousness?